Oh, wait, hold on. You're muted.
Right, sorry. Thank you, Joy. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be able to see some of your faces. Of course, I appreciate seeing your faces and cameras on, unless you don't want to be in the video or recording. But I'm glad to be here, and I really hope to see you all in the campus and the department sooner rather than later. We are planning to have our classes fully in session starting fall. Um, as you might have heard, we are working on the way that we are going to deliver each course. There are going to be variety of ways that we're going to do it. University has policies in place to follow social distancing and other elements that are required to be sure that we have a safe environment for our students coming back to the university and the campus. And the course is going to be adjusted in a way that provide you with that safe and secure environment, learning environment, while it delivers everything you need to um, hear and learn from the courses that you're going to take. So welcome to Mississippi State University, and in this particular case, welcome to Computer Science and Engineering. It's an exciting time to be part of this department. It's an exciting time to major in computer science and software engineering, or cybersecurity, or computer engineering, whatever your major relates to in regards to the department. I'm gonna start by giving you some sense of what a great choice you have made, and what is the environment out there for computer science and engineers. And then after that, maybe talk a little bit about different research areas, and maybe particularly on artificial intelligence, and then take your questions. So let's go ahead with sharing my screen. Can you see my screen? All right. Okay, great. So you're majoring in degrees that is on their Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So that's your department name to begin with. Sometimes it's confused. Have all kind of name. You have electrical and computer engineering department also, which is a department um, to us. So why we do computer science? And by the way, when I talk about computer science, I'm including also software engineering and cybersecurity as a degree that is coming on pretty soon. But why are we doing this computer science? What is interesting about this major? Um, the most exciting reason for that I can share with you is that you are building the future. This is the major for future. We are right now at the moment. If you ask me how far are we in computer science technology, I would tell you we are in the Stone Age. You know, we are still just starting. We are those cage people who are painting on the walls. We are in that level. um, Things gonna change. I don't know if you have heard about Internet of Things. More and more, everything you deal with is going to be computerized. Today, whatever car you're driving, 100 plus of their computers and CPUs are placed in the engines, and they're talking to each other and handling the system. So they're really getting to be more and more places, but we are just starting. Computer science provide you with the knowledge that you require to contribute in building this future, and that is critical for economy and so forth. Why is critical to economy? Well, these are statistics I show, all our government statistics. So as you can see in the gray area, we are graduating more and more computer science students year after year. But as you can see in the orange area, there are more and more jobs are available. So we are not closing the gap. We are actually seeing the gap expanding. Statistic wise, today there are a little bit more than 4 jobs per graduate from the university. This statistics was predictive So what you see for 2020 today is a little bit wider. The distance is a little bit wider than what was predicted, which is unfortunate for the economy because we need these people to come and run the economy. But it's kind of fortunate for you guys because you have all kind of options and salaries and stuff like that. Job wise, if you look at again government statistics, if you look at computer science jobs, versus all other maths and sciences, you have 60% to 40%, and this is while only about 2% of all these majors are computer science majors right now in most of the universities, and that is, by the way, rapidly changing. 98% other majors. More specifically, if you want to look at if you look at the engineering overall, so these are what you see in the circle on the left are all the majors in engineering and STEM in general, technology and math. So it's science, technology, engineering, and math. You see 63% of the new jobs that are being introduced are in computer related jobs versus the rest of it is 27%, 37% for the rest of the majors. So you see the huge demand on computer science graduates among all the STEM. Now, STEM itself by itself is really hot, and most of the jobs are STEM. Now, inside of this STEM, you have 63% of the new jobs introduced are computer science related. And then you see the breakdown of what are these jobs and so forth, a variety of jobs. By the way, if you're doing computer science and software engineering, that doesn't mean that you're going to end up being only a programmer. Programming is just one of the many occupations and jobs, careers that you can choose from after graduating. Naturally, this is a little bit older statistics, but the trend has continued. But you see from 2006 to 2015 how departments in computer science have grown enrollment wise. So the blue lines that you see are larger departments, and the red ones or the orange ones are the smaller departments with less than 25 faculty members. And you see exponentially, basically, they are growing enrollment wise. That's exactly same for us, even with a faster trend compared to these statistics. We are on the side of the faster trend. We have doubled our major number of the majors since 2010, which is expected in some ways because of the number of the jobs out there. Year after year, we're increasing several percentage to our enrollments. However, the department is not. We are very careful that what we admit and accept in the program are provided the right education and the right class size and the right labs and activities. And this is critical. And for me as a department, this is one of the main tasks that I have to oversee that our students receive what they need to receive with the highest quality possible. We can deliver that. Now, talking about the growing of computer science majors. This article was published in March 6, 2019. If you look at it down there, it says the number of the MIT majors in computer science now is 40%. So almost, if you walk in the campus of MIT, almost 1 out of 2 people you see are computer science majors. 40% of all the enrollment in computer science. So this shows again the importance of this major and its need and what it provides for the industry, and how is valuable and critical graduating knowledgeable computer science students that can contribute to this industry and to economy. Talking about the future, of course, you can think about top companies, and if not all, most of them are related to computer science, and that tell you something. Now, this is interesting when you talk about this. 1 out of 5 graduates in computer science today won't ever go after a job. They start their own business. So it's the top major for entrepreneurship. And this group are not necessarily going to build a $1 trillion Apple and Amazon company, but there are thousands of companies that worth hundreds of millions or tens of millions of dollars as tech companies by building a small portion of what is needed out there in the industry. I have many students with their own companies, and I usually use example of this student that I had in my class a few years back. And he was a shy guy, he was quiet, he would sit in the corner of the class, and I had my concerns if he's going to be successful getting a job and advance and so forth. So in one of my, I do a consultation for the Department of Defense. So there was this project. There were these companies that they were called in, and there was a meeting. I was supposed to consult for the Department of Defense in picking the right companies. So one of the companies was from this student of mine. So he was there still, really shy and quiet. So we got excited seeing each other. So I'm saying, how are you doing? Are you fine? Things are okay? Are you presenting a company here? So he says, well, this is my own company, and yeah, we're doing okay. We are like 4. I have 2 developers, myself and my wife. And so as part of that, we got to see W2 forms and tax return forms. And by the way, I have permission from him to share this information, although you don't know his name even. But his income that year was about $860,000, and his wife was 180,000. So together they made over $1 million. Then he was saying, Dr. Rahimi, that was not the best year for us. And I was like, hey, I feel for you, man. I mean, hopefully next year you can do better. But what matters is there are tons of opportunities out there, and these kind of examples. What make me and got me excited many years back was that I could have this computer and I could have a corner of a room, and then I could be the next big thing or build the next big application or company just with that laptop and a corner of a room. That's not something you can always say in many other majors. You require intensive investment, you require many other things, but computer science give you that luxury that you can um, get to do things that it's hard to do it without large investment, just with your computer and a corner that you can spend time on. I want to, before I continue, I want to check the chat and see if there are questions and answer some questions, and then I would like to get to talk about one of the research areas that we are active in. In fact, I do research on, so I have more knowledge to share with you on artificial intelligence, and also because it's hot right now. Just to tell you about research activities that departments is doing. So I'm gonna stop sharing this if I figure out how. And let's see if I can get maximized here. Okay, so for some reason I cannot get this. Oh, here. By the way, the paper you see back there, we're working with 13 people, collaborative from New Zealand to here, Mississippi, and then the morning at 6 because my colleague in New Zealand time is 12 midnight. So exciting. But anyways, let's take a look at if you have any questions so far, go ahead and type Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the department. One question is asking about the number of the students total in the department. So undergraduate programs, including computer science and software engineering, we have about 650, but we also have a joint program with electrical and computer engineering, which is computer engineering, which half of the enrollment counts for us because half of their courses are taught in our department. So that's another 120. So altogether, really, we are talking about 750 or so undergraduate. And then we have about 100 graduate students, mostly PhD students. The department is a research intensive department. We have several millions of dollars of research expenditure annually. We rank about among top computer science departments out there. When you look at research expenditure, we're active in many areas, from high performance computing in design of spaceships in NASA and SpaceX, like things that Dr. Ed Luke does, to to building future vehicles for army and military. Some of the things that I do, we do predictive analytics, we do game development and graphics, we do variety of machine learning, we do computer networks, we do database systems, focus on software engineering, of course, cybersecurity. Our department is one of only 9 departments out there that is Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Research, Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Operation, which is offense, and Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Defense. So we are in the whole nation. There are just 9 universities that have something like that. So those are some of the details about our program, and we are actively recruiting faculty. Yes, machine learning. If you're interested in that, talk to me when you come in. Just walk in and come to my office. We do tons of that. So we have at the moment maybe 8, 9 funded projects that apply machine learning, and these are major projects with millions of dollars of research expenditure, and they all need machine learning. Now these days, everybody, whoever do whatever, need to do machine learning. So absolutely, we do a lot of those, and come and talk to me. Co-op programs and internships. So these are really up to you. I prefer that you be in the program for 2 years before you go after them. But now companies are trying to recruit earlier than that. I would recommend you not to do it before your couple of years in the program, so you can focus, you can learn the core and get adjusted better before you do co-op. Yes, we have a study abroad program. So the question is about the study abroad program. I meet at least once a month with a university in Europe, and we have MOUs with multiple universities. We have universities in France, in Italy, and other places, and we have a really good center. I'm sure Joy can share more information on those with you. College has a dedicated director, and she's extremely with that. And yes, we do that, and you can transfer your credit, and you do not pay anything more than what you pay as your tuition at Mississippi State when you go. Of course, you're going to have to pay for living in those foreign campuses, but that would be it. Yeah, that's a hard question. To a person, if to take computer science or to take software engineering as a major, you need to talk to me offline, and then I will tell you. I don't think that these majors are great. So in general, software engineering provide you with some management courses. So how to manage projects, how to be able to run teams and so forth. It goes towards that a little bit. Computer science, however, spend those hours more on on the technology itself and the areas that relates to computer science. By the way, maybe I need to back off and tell you in general, when you, I mean, the titles are computer science and computer engineering doesn't tell anything to you what these majors are. Computer science really deals with software mostly and a little hardware. Computer engineering deals with hardware mostly and a little bit software. That's why computer engineering is a joint program with electrical and computer engineering, and actually advisement and those kind of things happens over there because they're really close to electrical engineering. So if you want to do computing, you like the electrical engineering and hardware side, that's an option. But if you like software side, computer science is the major. Now, when I say computer science, there are branches. Software engineering adds more to management, to those aspects that teach you how to handle groups and how to come up with a project and move forward with that. Computer science is more core related to technologies and aspects and different areas of computing. You study those a little bit more compared to computer engineering in this case. And then cybersecurity, that extension goes to cyber defense, cyber offense, cyber research, and so forth. But I can talk to you. I would say, yes, definitely talk to me later. Another question, if I am majoring in software engineering, would you recommend getting a minor in computer science? Oh, these are really close programs. You could, but this is first that anybody asked that. You're gonna see 2-3 years of same material in both majors, so there are not enough content probably that you can put under computer science to minor in computer science. Probably I don't recommend that because software engineering has everything that computer science core has. If I'm majoring in computer engineering, okay, you see that. Can you tell me more about the cybersecurity course, such as how long it is and what degree is a good pair with cybersecurity? So cybersecurity has multiple courses, and cybersecurity now is going to be an undergraduate program. When you start the program, you can always later on switch between the majors, and you don't lose anything because the first couple of years they're all the same. So now, talking about cybersecurity courses, you have courses that introduce to you what are those elements that matters to cybersecurity. What is going on? What do we call cybersecurity? So those are intro courses. Then you look at cyber defense courses. So you look at what are the elements of cyber defense in general, and courses under that. Then you look at cyber offense, or we call it cyber operation, and courses under that. For instance, we do reverse engineering, software reverse engineering, and other elements under that. And you look at elements of intrusion detection, and active defense, passive defense, those kind of elements you would take. So you would be in late third year and fourth year, you would be taking mostly cybersecurity related courses in that major. Which coding language do first year students focus on? So we start with Python in our first intro to computer programming course, which would be your first course, and then we move to C and C++, and which would be intermediate programming and our data structure course. But you're gonna see multiple programming languages. You're gonna take a programming language course. You go through 10-15 different languages. If you take my AI course, which is a split level, is a senior level and junior graduate level, you would be able to use any programming language. We want to teach you to learn any programming language fast and get adjusted on, because nobody lies in 10 years. Are there any ACT and SAT requirements? Those are admission questions. Joy can help you with all that. How does a student catch big companies' eye? We have many. I have Just recently, I was counting just last 3, 4 years that I could remember. I have 6 students in Microsoft just in Seattle because I was going to Seattle. I wanted to set up a time to see them. So I want to say, here's how many. So there are a lot of those things. You want to catch people's eye, do well in your classes. Study hard. We're gonna provide you with the curriculum that you need to catch their attention, but do well in the classes. And later on, I can provide you with other hints um, to how to get internships with these companies. First year, we're going to do Python. I recommend that. It is a language that you're going to use. Is an extremely advanced language, but also is through that instead of just focus on syntax and semantics of a programming language. If my laptop does not meet the requirement for CS field, it cause a lot of issues. So I think college requires you purchase a laptop that follows those requirements, so you need to do that. But to be very honest with you, we are always sure that we have enough equipment in our labs for students who might need different hardware setting. So it's better to have it, but it's not going to be extremely problematic if you don't. There you go. Bagley.edu computer. The questions? Okay, so I'm gonna. Do I have time? It's 10:32. Joy.
You're good. Yeah.
Okay, so quickly. Okay. Okay. Yes, COVID. We're gonna follow social distancing, so the class is gonna be smaller. Now it might do hybrid, so a group of students come on Tuesday, let's say a group of students come on Thursday, and then the other group that is not in the class might see the lecture online. So we will provide all that. We have a good plan to do those kind of things. Expanding on research, are there any DoD projects going on? Are there? Oh yes, many. 2018, I received a grant, $7.9 million for 3 years. That's $400,000 expenditure per month. I was a co-PI. Just talking about my research, I just received another grant, 1,090,000 from DoD for 3 years, another from 500,000, another one 200, and I'm just one person, and I'm the department head, busy with other things. So yes, we have a lot of those opportunities, and our centers have it too. So yes, you're in a candy store when you come here for those kind of projects. Masters or going ahead and get work experience. So you're asking, is it a little bit early to talk about graduate programs? Both works, but we can talk about it. I think both of these tracks, going for a master's program or going for work experience, might be the right person for different people. So we can talk about that also. Person to person, I guess. It depends on your specific interests. Okay, so what would you recommend learning before going to a computer science class? Okay, yes, maybe I should talk about these things and stuff. So please be ahead. First of all, don't overload yourself. You want a high GPA. Don't overload yourself. Take your time. Try to benefit from these courses because your CV with a degree in computer science, software engineering, and so forth would get you an interview, period. But then when you go to interview, you need to know the content. For that, you need to spend enough time in the classroom to learn that. So it's good to go through material, look at the slides, look at the book, read ahead, and be prepared for the class. You're gonna learn much more. But if you ask me, make one recommendation, just one single recommendation for your success. Go to the class. participate. Now, when I say to go to the class, maybe in fall that means online and go through the stream. You got to do that. Let's say you go to a class, God forbidden, you don't like this professor, you don't connect, you feel you're not learning a lot. Trust me, you're learning a lot and you don't even notice. If you go to the class and pay attention, it's going to help you with doing the stuff yourself and reading content. You always click, oh, this was what he was talking about. Oh, this is important because he was mentioning this. Go to the class. Be synchronized with the class and your professor. Go to your professor and ask questions. Go to your teaching assistant and ask questions. You got to use those opportunities. We are there when there's office hours. That's for a reason. Use your office hours. I mean, those are great opportunities to go and talk to the faculty. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to move on to sharing my screen. So artificial intelligence. How many of you guys have watched the movie AI? If you haven't, that's one of the requirements. Watch the movie. Look at this.
When's your birthday? I never had a birthday.
His name is David.
I feel it. It's creepy. Whoa, it's so real.
In a distant future, in an age of intelligent machines, he is the first robotic child programmed to love and coexist as a member of a family. His is a tale of humanity and a journey to find his place among humans and machines.
I'm a boy.
You are a real boy. At least as real as I've ever made one.
We are closest to things like that than ever before. Now we are talking about ethics, that how we deal with these machines that gonna start having feeling, that gonna start having expectations. How we gonna deal with those is exciting time. Now I'm gonna run another video for you. This is a project that I'm a part of. This is building something like what you saw in AI, but in a virtual world. So it's not physical, but it's virtual. His name is Milo. Watch this.
Science fiction writers, filmmakers haven't imagined what we're able to do today. We've been experimenting with something here. I'd like you to meet a boy called Milo. He's a character that can recognize us, he can recognize our faces, he can recognize our voices, he can recognize emotions in us. And this is Claire. She's going to introduce you to Milo.
Hi, Milo. How are you doing?
Hi, Claire. You okay?
Actually, I'm a bit nervous.
You? Nervous? I don't believe it.
This is the first time that thousands of people are going to see this.
Thousands of people.
Here we're seeing Claire being recognized, and the emotion in Claire's voice being recognized, and that emotion reflecting in Milo's face. Those are all being seen for the first time.
So listen, I was thinking today you should let me beat you at football again. That is if you finished your homework. You have finished your school project.
What happened there is that Claire knew Milo so well, she knew when he was worried about something. His head was down, he wasn't looking at the camera so much, and this is about you meeting a character, a person.
Well, why don't I help you with yours? Then yours will be brilliant.
All right. I could just try to catch some fish. Draw some pictures in my journal. Maybe I'll do okay this time.
I think that's a good idea.
Liftoff! Don't know till I try, do I?
I'm gonna go for it.
I bet the fish think I'm a monster.
Cheap.
There Claire is, in Milo's world. She's in that pond. Every hand movement is being recognized. Being able to touch fish, being able to swish the water with her hand. Everyone who's experienced it, their hairs are standing up on the back of their head. Now, what's about to happen is some real magic.
Well, you're good at drawing.
They're only fish, but they're trickier than you think.
Well, here, I'll have a go. Right. I'm going to do a body and a tail, the big fin, and a smiley face. There we go. What do you think?
Look at what just happened.
Orange.
Claire drew a picture on a piece of paper. The piece of paper was held up to Milo. Natal recognized the piece of paper, scanned the piece of paper in. Milo looked at that piece of paper, recognized the shape, recognized the color, and able to get on with his.
So lots of exciting things are happening, and we are part of that. It's gonna be a great future. And back to the first thing I said, why to major in computer science is because you want to build the future. You want to be part of the future. Any job that is introduced, you're gonna be part of that. You're not gonna be concerned with any of those issues that jobs are transferred. You're gonna be the ones that take over those kind of type of jobs with the training you have. So that's it, and thank you for being here. And I'm looking forward to seeing you really soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Rahimi. Guys, thank you for joining us today. If you do have any questions, I know there were some questions about co-op and admissions. I do a virtual information session every day. So if you are wanting to visit and do one of those, you can. Our next one will be Monday. I think that's the 22nd at 11 a.m. So if you go to campusvisit.msstate.edu, you can look and see Bagley College of Engineering, and you can request to do a meeting. In the interim, you have all my contact information, so if you need anything, you can reach out to me. But stay safe, be well, and Hail State. Thanks, guys.